everybody, Night Batman here doing another movie review, and this time I will be doing my review on Jurassic World. Now Jurassic World is the latest entry for one of the greatest movie franchises, and that is Jurassic Park. Well, unfortunately though, Jurassic Park was the highest point that franchise has gone with, but it's okay because Jurassic World has surpassed part 2 and 3. As you can see with my positivity in the beginning of this review, you can wipe any doubts you might have about this movie from your mind and try and go in with an open mind. Set 22 years after the first movie, this movie takes place on the same island of the first movie, which is Isla Nublar, and it brings back a lot of nostalgia for fans of the original movie. A lot of these throwbacks resonate with not only the music, but certain scenes that have certain areas that are from the original movie, which I would not say specifically, but once you see them and you realize what area you're looking at that you've also seen from the first movie, you will really have that positive mind that this movie really does have respect for the first one and that it's trying to do something really good in the same vein as it. Actually, what I like most is the fact that as much as a lot of the characters get a lot of good screen time and really help in advancing the story, the dinosaurs themselves actually feel not only really interesting but also feel as important to the story as the characters do. Now, also, what's really cool about the dinosaurs in this movie is that they are not only really good to look at, but they also feel like actual characters themselves, where you genuinely care more about them as opposed to, in my opinion, the other three movies. And that is what this movie really succeeds on. Onto the humans, there is Chris Pratt who plays Owen, and I think he is a really interesting character. Not only is he entertaining, but he really does a good job in the action scenes by showing a character who's in control and really knows how to understand the behaviors of these dinosaurs, which really helps make these dinosaurs more believable. Then there's Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays Claire, who helps run the Jurassic World theme park, and what's great about her is that even though her appearance makes her seem like a typical businesswoman, it shows that when you get to know her more in the movie, you can see that there is more to her and that she can also make for a character who can stand on her own in this movie, which really does a great job of making her less of a damsel in distress and makes her a good aid to Owen during the perilous scenes in this movie. The music in this is done by Mako Giacchino. I hope I said that right. But even though it's not done by John Williams, he does a great job of paying homage to John Williams' themes from the original movies, and when you hear those themes in this, I guarantee you will feel like you're watching the original again. Even though it felt like some of the themes that they brought back from the first movie could have been used for another scene, or like maybe they were used at a wrong time, it still felt great to hear it again because it not only connected the movies together, but it helped bring you back to that wonder as you remember when you first saw the first movie and you see all these amazing dinosaurs. And one little gripe is that the effects could have been better. They probably don't even hold up as compared to the first Jurassic Park. When you think about the effects and the time it came out, those effects are very advanced, and the fact that even years later they can still hold up pretty well is really saying something. It's kind of sad that this movie couldn't have upped the computer generated imagery compared to the first one, but other than that, the dinosaurs still look really great, and I'm glad that there are still some moments where they use animatronics. Even though it's not as much as the first movie, at least we get to enjoy a bit of it here, which makes them feel a bit more realistic. Onto the story. The story follows Owen, who is a retired Navy officer. What he is tasked with is to try and understand this dinosaur that they created for the theme park to try and get more people's attention, which is the Indominus Rex. Things go wrong when Owen sees how smart she is and how intelligent she is and how lethal she is. And what I really like about the Indominus Rex is that she feels like a huge threat as opposed to what we've seen in the past three movies. She feels like she can stand on her own, maybe even like be the most dangerous animal I've seen. And then there's the character of Claire, who is not only trying to run the Jurassic World theme park and also help Owen in trying to track down and stop the Indominus Rex, she's also trying to help save her two nephews. And her two nephews, they do a pretty good job in this movie. They add some emotional weight to it because, they are two kids. Since they are brothers, they have that strong bond that really makes it gripping to watch, and you hope that they manage through all the dangers that they come across. When it comes to the action scenes, they are really spaced out in this movie. It felt like they were spaced a little bit too far, but that's mainly because it felt like when it came to the dialogue, it could have been a little shorter. Sometimes it seemed like they made their point already and it was just kind of dragging a little bit too much. So I kind of wish that they just maybe cut those a little shorter, because we were getting some good character scenes, but other than that, their attempts to advance the plot was really overdoing it. One of the things I was most excited for about this movie was seeing the Raptors squad. Those scenes did not disappoint me at all. It was really cool to see something different here, where the Raptors became more allies than enemies, and how they interacted with Owen, and most especially the bond that they had with Owen. That was so interesting to see, of you know, man and animal interacting with each other and sharing some kind of bond. That was really nice to see, and making them less of, you know, menaces in the movie compared to the first. So overall, I really didn't have too many complaints about this movie, and I won't say it totally outmatched the first one. I would say it is as good as the first, where it makes use of showing what it would have been like if the park did survive and managed to open in a more modern day setting, which is really good because it helped separate itself from the first one and not feel too much like it was imitating. It showed what we all wondered, were what if we actually did have a theme park with dinosaurs, and of course the danger that that would entail. So for my review for Jurassic World, I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. The story was really good to follow, the action scenes were great to watch, the dinosaurs were really interesting, the Indominus Rex made for a great villain, actors all did really well, most especially Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. Just didn't get a perfect 5 out of 5 because I just wish that some dialogue scenes could have been shorter. If you guys have already seen it and you would like to share your opinions, maybe where you rank it in the franchise, please feel free to share them in comments below. And if you have not seen the movie yet, go check it out. It's definitely gonna be a good summer movie for you to watch. But I will say, avoid 3D. There was not much use for the 3D scenes. Save your money on that. Jurassic World in theaters now. Go check it out. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Later.